Today is the 5th day of the Chinese New Year. In traditional Chinese folk culture, it is the day to welcome the god of wealth. It is said that on this day, offerings to welcome the god of wealth will be of great help to the fortune of the whole year. And the financial resources will be wide. Since it is a folk culture, the public hopes to seek good luck with a mentality of seeking wealth, so that they can succeed in their careers and have abundant wealth in the new year, rather than professional cultivation. As for why the 5th day of the Lunar New Year is the day of the god of wealth, there have been many legendary versions since ancient times. After all, it has been passed down for thousands of years. Along the way, more and more versions have been man-made adaptations and rumors. In the Tang dynasty, Li Hing recorded in Duizhi as follows: during the Kaiyuan period, there were Wang Ergo, peddler in Chang'an, who tried to go back and forth to Z County to sell silk, which was also very profitable. One day, the orphaned house was robbed and all his property was lost. The second dog sighed, "God, can't he help me?" So he wanted to suicide. I saw an old man in the dark, dressed in brocade and with a jade belt, wearing a crown, wearing a red robe, with a white face and a long beard, gentle and elegant, and his left hand be satisfactory, right hand gold or silver ingot. Gaozu gave the title of wealth and silk star King Li Xianggong. Xingjuan said, "If you are rich and noble, you can key live lightly. Don't you hear that Zizhou comes out of Liuli?" He gave up another yuanbao and went. The second dog sold glaze and grew up to be the richest man. I also felt the gift of the Star King, and changed my name to Yuanbao. The second dog counterattacked and became the richest man. According to the folk, it was given by the god of wealth. We think from the cause and effect. The truth is that the second dog has this fateful in virtue and blessing of the world. Otherwise, there are so many poor people and debtors in the world, and the god of wealth will help him. And there is a blessing in the fate. If there is the blessing and help of the god of wealth and fate, and all kinds of obstacles and disadvantage are removed, the fruit of abundance will appear quickly. In addition, in Chinese culture, there are the god of wealth and the god of wealth. There are many people in the Chinese folk, such as family, Kai Shi Xingjuan, Zingfu Xianggong Li Yuzu, Fulu Shou Sangqing, etc. The god of literature and wealth was either very rich in his lifetime, or he was ordered to manage the wealth and titles of the world after his death. For example, Fan Li is a legendary figure who assisted King Gojian of Yu to defeat King Fucha of Wu. Later, he observed the current situation. In order to avoid when the birds run out, the good bough is hidden, the cunning rabbit dies, the lackey cooks. At the end of the country and the city, Shisho returned to seclusion and sailed in the 5 lakes, leaving a beautiful one. Legend has it that family bravely retreated from the rapids, resigned and retreated. He led his family to follow, set up a flat boat, and sailed to the East China Sea, and came to the state of Qi. If you cultivate the land by the sea and work diligently, you will soon accumulate hundreds of thousands of family property. When the king of Qi heard about his virtue, he asked him to be his prime minister. Soon, family returned the photo seal and shared all the money with his friends and neighbors. He quietly came to Dinggao with only valuables, and from then on, he called himself the Duke of Taozhou, mainly engaged in the breeding industry. Soon, he accumulated a lot of wealth and scattered all his family wealth. In his old age, according to the actual situation of his body, he changed to business and soon accumulated a large number of gold and silver treasures. He scattered all his family wealth for the 3rd time. This is the famous story of the 3 times of scattering family wealth in history. It's also what people often say. I can keep plant it, I can keep bear it. The source and illusion of. In fact, with family's amazing talent, it is expected that he will become very rich in business. After he got a lot of money, he sacrificed money many times to help the poor. After his death, he was revered as a merchant saint and the god of wealth. Fan Li made outstanding achievements in politics, and great success in business. He also had an altruistic heart, almsgiving and poor sentient beings. He became the god of wealth, unlike other gods of literature and wealth. He had a particularly obvious divinity or the emperor's blessing, but people's feelings and respect for him. Li Xianggong, the god of wealth mentioned above, is also a historical figure, but he is not an ordinary person and had the position of the god of wealth in his lifetime. The 3 religions searching for God said, Li Xianggong tabooed his ancestors and ruled the affairs of his ancestors in the Wei dynasty. During the day, the unjust imprisonment of the sun is ruled, and at night, the master judges the right and wrong of the underworld. He is also in charge of the clothes, food and salary of the officials above the 3rd grade of the court. And the living residents are determined to have food and clothing every year. In the 1st year of Emperor Tianqing of the Ming dynasty of the later Tang dynasty AD 926 year gifted to the god to increase the blessing of the prince. When Li Xianggong was alive, he broke the case between the sun during the day and cut off the right and wrong in the underworld at night. At the same time, he was in charge of the world's food, clothing and welfare. It is also recorded in the records of Xingfu Ligong Temple. The temple worships Li Gongye, the marquis of the old city. Case County Qing, the Prince Zhi Zichuang, Emperor Wen of Wei served in Xiuliang. At that time, the demon blocked the water, and the heart was eager for the people to hide, and there were many blessings. After the death, the people built a temple to worship it. Those who are suitable for sacrifice are those who can protect from great disasters, defend great disasters, and strengthen the sacrificial scriptures. If there are Tang Feng Xing Fu Xiang Gong, Yuan Feng Fu Shan Ping Shi Gong, then the temple construction is also far away. In the Ming Dynasty and Jin Dynasty, the famous eunuchs were still sealed in the Tang Dynasty, so that the people could recommend and enjoy them. Those who prayed for disasters and auspiciousness, the public was very spiritual, and every prayer was always responded. Li Gong, a Maudi of Sichuan, Shandong Province, served as the county magistrate of Xuzhou during the reign of Emperor Wen of the Northern Wei Dynasty. At that time, the water demon made trouble and harmed the people. Duke Li managed to destroy the demons and did a lot of good deeds for the people. After his death, the people were grateful and built ancestral hall to remember him. Later, in the Tang Dynasty, Duke Li was given the title of Xingfu Xianggong, and in the Yuan Dynasty, he was given the title of Fushenping Shigong, so this temple has a long history. After the establishment of the Ming Dynasty, it was still based on the title of the Tang Dynasty, so that the people could make better sacrifices, or pray for blessings and wishes, etc. And Duke Li was also very strange and would respond to requests. And according to the information and documents, Li Weizhiren, when he was the county magistrate of Xuzhou, he was upright and clean, single-minded to benefit the people and solved many difficult problems, so he was deeply supported and loved by the people of Xuzhou. During his tenure, he dredged rivers, built canals, solved water problems, treated salt and alkali, took the lead in setting an example, lived a thrifty life, and took out his salary to help the poor. Not long ago, the people in the Qiuliang area lived a happy and rich life. In China, as space-time legal world, Fuxingshan are all very righteous gods. Most of them are reincarnated by benevolent and righteous people who benefit the people in the world and benefit the people. Therefore, Emperor Wuchang, the god of wealth, the god of the city, the god of land, etc. Those who were granted by the Emperor of Heaven were not idle people, but those who accumulated great virtues in their lifetime, cherished about life, worried about the country and the people, and benefited one side. Therefore, Buddhist scholars should not underestimate these righteous gods. Don Qi think that learning Buddhism will be particularly high. As Nan Huijing said, it is still a question whether you can be the god of the land after death and not fall into the evil way. For example, the city god of a province does not know how much merit and virtue he has to accumulate in his lifetime, and how many sentient beings have to benefit to sit in this position. The life and death of sentient beings in the jurisdiction are recorded in the city god, and the city god has great authority. According to folk opinion, Wen Tianxiang is one of the city gods in Beijing. In Shanghai, the national hero Chen Huaqing is the new city god. Sun Ju, the first governor of Hefei and Luzhou, was the city god. Luzhou, it is Luzong Yuan. Hairui is located in Qingyang County, Anhui Province. Hexian is Fanzing. Guqing, Hubei Province is Shaohe. These historical celebrities are all sages who have been interested in the country and have the feeling of governing the country and the world. It is no coincidence that they can take charge of one side. When it comes to the god of wealth, let us talk about the god of wealth. The most famous ones are Zhao Gongming and Emperor Guan. Zhao Gongming, many people will regard it as Taoist immortals, which is only the level understood by the world. In the legal world, Zhao Gongming has a profound evidence. In the past, when Jianggong living Buddha went to Wutai Mountain, Zhao Gongming specially came to visit the living Buddha and was willing to become the guardian god of the Dharma. The living Buddha then created Zhao Gongming as praise and prayer, so that his disciples could recite and feel it quickly. Last time, a master opened Zhao Gongming's Fuzang method. In the realm of the master, Zhao Gongming only listened to the orders of Guanyin Bodhisattva in the Buddhist sect. He had proved the fruit position of the 8 lands Bodhisattva, and was the guardian of the Dharma in the world. He was stationed in a Mei mountain, protected all the temples on the mountain, and the spread of Buddhism in the Han dynasty. According to the documents, at the beginning of the Ming dynasty, Emperor Guan once wrote a pen to show the eunuchs and advised people to practice goodness, and said, "I have returned to Guanyin Dashi, and I respect the sky with Wei, and I protect the righteous law together. Those who worship me should not use meat and wine." The above two are both guardian gods, martial arts and wealth gods. At the same time, they have converted to Guanyin Bodhisattva, which shows the prestige and influence of Guanyin Bodhisattva in the Dharma world. This is also one of the reasons why I often suggest reciting the magic mantra before practicing the heavenly method. Because the Shiva, the king of Brahma, the emperor Shakshan, the king of the hell and other heavens we know are Guanyin Bodhisattva. Sa's family, even the gods of different regions in the Dharma world, also converted to Guanyin Bodhisattva and obeyed the orders of Guanyin Bodhisattva. You should first practice the Dharma system of Guanyin Bodhisattva, because the vows of the guardian gods to Guanyin Bodhisattva will especially help you, support you, complete all careers, and satisfy all wishes. Open the enlightenment of the master of Zhao Gongming's Fuzong method, worship and praise Zhao Gongming, recite the Fuzong prayer. And all the ghosts and obstacles in the family will naturally disperse, and the wealth of the world will grow rapidly. Zhao Gongming in Taoism, Zhao Gongming has a whole set of systematic law cultivation system. Zhao Gongming altar map, Rui water, Baoqi, Kaikaman, male and female harmony and legality, husband and wife harmony, business harmony, transaction harmony, seeking wealth and prosperity. Attracting wealth charms, Zhao Gongming taboo order, tricks, removing evil spirits and exorcising evil spirits, eliminating words and tongues, dealing with monsters, and seedling the fetus. As Buddhists, we naturally need to practice the method of Buddhism. A relevant master told Zhao Gongming that he had converted to Buddhism, converted to Guanyin Bodhisattva, and was a guardian of the Dharma in the world. If you have confidence in Zhao Gongming, the local god of martial arts and wealth, you can ask Zhao Gongming as the guardian god of the law and the virtue master to praise and pray for the method of offering. Because he is resident in China, Chinese sentient beings have a geographical advantage, and pray that he will have special benefits and sense quickly. Of course, since he is the guardian god of the world, he is naturally not limited by geography, and he will be effective wherever he prays. If you have faith, you can also recite the magic spell. Zhao Gongming Svaha, pray for him. You can also burn Yuanbao and the map of fate, etc. and recite the mantra of Fuko money offerings. Zhao Gongming Wow, there will also be induction and wealth gain. In China, there are also 5 special gods of wealth. In addition to Zhao Gongming, the god of wealth in the middle road, the other 4 roads are Shaoxing, the god of wealth on the east road, Chaobao. The god of wealth on the west road, Chaobao, Qinjiogong, the messenger of the god of wealth on the south road, and Yao Shaoxi, the immortal official of the north road. In Tibetan Buddhism, there are 5 special surnames, the god of wealth. God of wealth, the Sanskrit name is Zambara, called Kabura, approach ugly body, old translation King Kong. The 5 surnames god of wealth are the 5 gods of wealth worshipped by the major sects of Tibetan Buddhism. These 5 gods of wealth are green, white, red, yellow and black according to their color. The 5 surnames of the god of wealth come from different secret continuations, rather than manifestations at the same time. For example, the white god of wealth is 900. It was felt by the Venerable of Adi Gorge a year ago. When the Venerable saw the hungry beggar who was about to die, he was very sad and prayed to the Guanyin Bodhisattva. The Bodhisattva appeared, leaving tears in his left eye and turning into the green mother, and the right eye leaving tears turning into the white god of wealth. The white god of wealth gave the Venerable the initiation inheritance. And the Venerable became the first ancestor of the world who held this method and has been passed down to this day. For example, the inheritance of the green god of wealth is different from the white god of wealth. He was instructed by Shakyamuni to transfer Phelan to all the poor and give the world wealth and Dharma wealth. He lived in the center of the god of wealth with the 5 surnames, which was transmitted from the continuation of the Unream Yoga department. The continuation of the time wheel Vajra, and was the incarnation of the immovable Buddha of the East. Tibetan tradition attaches importance to the cultivation of the god of wealth of the 5 surnames. There are a large number of rituals and cultivation methods in this regard, and those who are confident that there are inheritors can be cultivated by themselves. The great auspicious goddess and the strong earth god that I often introduce today are also the great god of wealth. And there are other gods of wealth that they do not have. It is mentioned in the 108 sutras of the great auspicious goddess, gathering and gaining all the wealth can eliminate poverty. Its 108 names also, all medicinal herbs, trees, wealth and valleys are auspicious, giving gold, giving food, abundance, prosperity and growth. Cultivating the great auspicious goddess law can summon and gain all wealth, and eliminate the karma of poverty. And the god of the earth is the goddess of the earth. Needless to say, her wealth is naturally. The Venerable praised her in the Dizang Sutra. Gumi baby and others from the earth are all the power of the god of the earth. Usually, we Chinese people like to talk about the 5-way god of wealth, and the 5-way god of wealth is all on the ground. The southeast, northwest, is encompassed by a strong god of the earth, and the ground is wide and spread all over the world. The 4 directions and 5 directions are covered by the gods of the earth. If the 2 things are well maintained, they can be used for generations. Today is the 5th day of the Lunar New Year. I will introduce how to welcome the god of wealth and gather heavenly wealth, earthly wealth and dragon wealth. The first step is to set up a basic altar city, such as the Great Auspicious Goddess and the Strong Earth God statue. The Great Auspicious Goddess is the mother of all the heavens, and her status is respected. She can summon all the heavenly dragons and 8 medicinal forks, etc. So she can be placed in the middle of the heavenly department. Or represent all the gods of the heavens with the appearance of the Great Auspicious Goddess. In addition, countless heavenly ghosts and gods obey the orders of Guanyin Bodhisattva and Jizang Bodhisattva. So they can also set up offerings to the heavens in front of the Bodhisattva statue, and the offerings to the Bodhisattva and the heavens should be separated. If there is no icon, you can use portraits or red paper to write cards. The second step is to arrange the offerings. First of all, the offerings can be food with yellow surface gain, manna, milk, biscuits, fruits, ghee lamps, yellow flowers, etc. Then there are yuanbao and the picture of fate. In folk traditional culture, when welcoming the god of wealth of the 5 roads, there will be a special origin. At this time, it can be used, as shown below, which is deeply in line with the principle of origin. If there are conditions, it can be fully offered. 5 color fruits representing the 5-way god of wealth such as apples, oranges, peaches, dragon fruits and red dates. 2. Set up an incense burner and put 5 cups of tea in front. Tea brewing sun. Put a bottle of flowers in front of the statue, such as lilies, chrysanthemums and carnations. It represents harmony, joy and vitality. 4. Candy peanuts, candy, pastry. 5. Fragrance 9 branch, candle 1 pair or 5 ghee lamps, yuanbao and other incense burning supplies, and a pair or 5 ghee lamps candle in front of the vase, symbolizing the 5 bright roads. The above can be made into the origin diagram of the 5-way god of wealth. If you feel that the above is too much to recite and you don't have time, you can directly recite the magic spell, the Heart Sutra, and the bright mantra. Send the saints back to the Dharma world. Recite Buswajila Mug Fork reverent once, watch the return of the saints. The above methods are not limited to the 5th day of the Lunar New Year, usually it can be cultivated and burned, which will gather natural wealth. Earth wealth and dragon wealth, and the career will flourish and be rich. I wish you all a prosperous year.